Welcome to this episode of Learning Fusion. In today's episode, we're going to cover another tracking episode, but this time we're going to be using the Planar Tracker. So let's roll this intro and let's get into it.
We're learning fusion together. We'll learn 2D stuff and 3D stuff and particle stuff and compositing stuff, deep pixel stuff and tracking stuff, but not other stuff, but some other cool stuff, cause we're learning fusion together.
So another way to track things is using the Planar Tracker. And what the Planar Tracker does is it tracks on a plane level. And you have a couple options when you're tracking, whether you want to track the area or just track the points. But let's go ahead and add a Planar Tracker. So shift space, P-L-A-N, Planar Tracker. And if we look at our tracker, we have multiple operations. So the first main operation we want to do before we do any of the other operations is we need to track. And I did go over this node in a node breakdown. So if you want an in-depth breakdown of every little operation in this node, I would suggest watching that video because we're going to cover the Planar Tracker, but I'm not going to go in depth on every single little button. Anyway, the Planar Tracker. So the first thing we want to do is we want to select what we want to track. Now, this does make a difference, and what mainly makes a difference is how you're going to track, because we can track just the points, or we can do a hybrid point area. And I'll show you here in a second. So if I wanted to, say, track this entire little square here, if I just create my little points and track this entire square, and I have it on point, it's only going to track where my points are within this little selection. But if I pick hybrid point area, it's going to track the area in between that. So if you have objects like she may move or her perspective might be thrown off because she's kind of in the middle. So as this film moves, you can see her perspective is going to change. So it could throw off an area track. So you just want to either mask out using some of these masks, or you just want to change where you want to track. So let's go ahead and just change where we're going to track. So we'll select these lines right here. And you can move them around however you want. Because if you notice, we've got the same little polyline selection tools up here. So this is basically creating a polyline around your area. So we can zoom in and we can move these points to exactly where we want. And then I'm going to select track hybrid point area. So we're tracking that area that's moving in between. Now down here, we can change our motion type. And this is just going to depend on what your motion is. And sometimes some work, sometimes some don't. And some others work better than others. But basically, you want to check out your movement. So we know it's moving on the X to Y. It's rotating a little bit. And we have some zoom and there's some shear going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just select affine TRS, which is our translation, rotation, and scale, plus shear. So I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to track forward. And there we go. We got a track, and you can see when we selected this area track, it tracked all these points in between. If we only select point, it wouldn't do that. So we've got a little track there. And that's it for our track. Now, how we use this data is our other operation modes. So let's go ahead and fit. So if I wanted to stabilize my footage, I could stabilize it. So I could select stabilize. And for this to work, we want to make sure we check what translation we want to smooth. So our X, our Y, our rotation, and our scale, since we are zooming in. And once I select that, I want to go ahead and compute stabilization. So I select compute stabilization. It just did its thing. So now if I push play, you can see our footage is stabilized. It's not so shaky. And to be able to fix our sizing, you can just put a transform afterwards and change your sizing so your footage stays in. And there we go. We have stabilized footage. Now we can also use the steady operation we have in there to help us fix stuff like this if we wanted to get rid of this little graffiti that's on the side of this pot. So if we check our footage out, you can see it's moving a little bit. So we need to go ahead and track this area and steady it so we can paint it out. So if I back it up, select Planar Tracker, Planar Tracker. We can go to our little track area here. Select the area we want to track. And for this, I'm going to set my reference keyframe. So hit set, and I'm going to track forward. So there we go. We've got our little track in there. So now what I could do is I can go to my little track here and I can select steady. So now if I push play, it's going to steady itself around the area we just tracked. So now I can take something like the paint node. I can go to the paint node, come up here, and we're just going to select a single brush, our clone. We're going to paint out our little face here really quick. I'm not going to do an amazing job because I don't want this video long just watching me paint things. So there we go, our awesome paint job. So now we've got it painted out, but to be able to reintroduce the movement on this, we have to add another planar tracker. So if we just select this planar tracker, hit Control C, Control V, connect our paint node into our planar tracker. If we go here and we select this invert steady transform, and let's go ahead and fit. It's going to look weird at first if we play it from this location because it's going to be all moving and you're not going to think you can use this footage, but you actually can. Because what it did is it reintroduced all that movement in there, so this is following where it's supposed to be. But to be able to see the footage correctly, what we have to do is we have to grab a merge, input our original footage to the background, our new steady painted footage to the foreground, and if we look at our merge, now you can see it's correct. So if I back it up, push play, now we've got our original footage there, and it's all good to go. And then if I wanted to add another tracker on here to steady it, I could after here. So hit Planar Tracker. So now we've got a new one. And I'm going to go up here and select a hybrid point area. And let's just select an area here. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're not doing anything with it. We just want this track info. So we're going to select that little area right there. And we're going to track forward. And then our planar tracker node here, we're going to go to stabilize. Computer stabilization, it computed it. So now if we push play, it's a lot more stable. And then we can add a transform afterwards and resize our footage so it's all staying in there. So we went from this one to this using 3 different planar tracker nodes. Now we can also do things like we did with the tracker node the other day to replace things using corner pin. So let's go ahead and add a shift space, planar tracker. Now there are a few ways to do this, and there's some good practice ways and some ways that just don't work super great. But let's go ahead and get our track in first. So let's back it up. Track our little cardboard piece here. Let's zoom in to make sure we've got it set up correctly. Because when we do this, it is going to replace in this area. So we want to cover this as good as we can, but have things to track as well. So there we go. That's good. So I'm going to use hybrid point area, and I'm just going to use find TRS plus shear, and let's go ahead and track forward. So there we go. We've got our track. Now we could, in the easy way, is just input our little media here. So if I just brought something in, input it, and on our planar track, select corner pin, it's going to pop up with our media, and it's going to allow us to move that corner pin around and input it where we want to input it. And if we push play, it's stuck to our little corner pin track there. But this isn't the best way to do it, honestly, because as you see, we got to build everything to fix it correctly, but there's an easier way to do this. So if we disconnect this media, and on a tracker node here, if we go back to our track, we have this Create Planar Transform button right here. So if I click on that button, it just created this Planar Transform. And this Planar Transform has all this nice track data with that plane that we just tracked. So we can use this to actually do anything we need to do. So let's make some room here. And we want to reintroduce our media. So we want to put this footage on our little cardboard piece. So how to do that is, first thing we need to do is we need to merge our footage in. So we've got our footage merged, but before we bring our media in, we need to make sure we're assigning this to this planar transform. Now we could just input it here. And if we look at our merge, you can see our footage is moving with that, but it's not resized correctly. So to be able to resize it correctly, we can do things like add a crop node. So shift space, crop node. And let's go ahead and fit this so we can see what we're doing. In our crop node, we can just crop this down. I know it's not correct yet, but you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. Let's get this to an ish place, to about where it's going to be. There we go. And before our crop node, let's go ahead and add a transform now, so we can start resizing this down to where we need it to be and moving it, of course, so it's in our little footage area. Let's give us a little more room. Then we can add another transform here, and we can transform our entire cropped area in there. So let's zoom in. Let's change our little angle. There we go. We can bring it down. And now once you have it ished in there, you can start going back and forth between your crop node and your transform node to fix it. So we can change our crop size here. Bring it down. Go to our transform, bring it up. So now we've got it in that little area. So now if I play, you can see it's resized correctly, and we've got our footage correct. And using the planar transform just gives us a little more freedom to do what we want to get our footage to look correctly and fit in there right, instead of being stuck to using it on the planar tracker node. So that is pretty much it for the planar tracker. I will see you in the next episode.